Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay?
So distributed networks. We talked about Byzantine generals problem. So I found some Byzantine generals. They want to all attack that castle. Or what if only 3 of them do and 2 of them say retreat? That's the visual. The only way to win in this mathematical game theory paper that was written some 25 years ago was if they all said attack or all said retreat. But the same thing sort of came to computers. And the core thing about a permissionless system is there is no central authority. And if there's no central authority, how does a distributed network, like the distributed set of generals, come to some agreement? Do we attack? Do we retreat? Well, it's based on a consensus protocol and a native currency. That's the key innovation of Satoshi Nakamoto, is to pull it all together. But it was built on the backs of other people. Adam Back in 1997, he proposed a way to address email spam and other types of computer problems called denial of service attacks. And the key was basically require a bunch of computational work using hash functions. And so the email or the header of the email went into the hash function, creates a hash, but the difficulty of finding whether it's confirmed was it in a certain range of hashes. And he did that by the quote, leading zeros. Does anybody want to guess why he did it this way? Hugo?
I mean, it comes back to what we talked about last time with the nonces, right? You need to try out a bunch of different random numbers in order to get the right number of leading zeros. And they could be leading anything, but he chose 0 because it's nice, right. but like you need to try a bunch of different random numbers in order to get the right number.
And in the email circumstance, his thought was it will take 2 or 3 seconds for anyone sending an email to do this proof of work, but it will take a nanosecond or less to confirm it. But if you were sending spam and you had a computer to send millions of spam times 2 or 3 seconds apiece, that would be too much for the spammer. And so that's why this concept was in the midst of emails. And it could be efficiently proved. So back to blockchain, the innovation was basically, how do we do this with a chain? How do we do this with a chain set of work? And I found a little graphic, but the SHA-256, that's the formula which is used to hash the header, the previous hash, the transaction hash, a timestamp, and a nonce. Can you find a hash that has a certain number of leading zeros? This was the key innovation in a sense, or maybe Satoshi Nakamoto was just taking Adam Back's email proof of work. Remember the reading for last week? Blocks. This is colored green because each of them have hashes that in this case have leading 4 zeros. What if we change one thing? What's going to happen?
Change the color.
What's that? Zan?
You change the Coinbase transaction so that $100, I guess in this example, went to you instead of Ander.
Why shouldn't I be able to get $100 for free? I just went in and I was trying to get the money for me. And it invalidated the rest of the chain. And that's the sort of innovation or genius is if you try to go into a former block, whether it's the last block or a block 100,000 blocks away, and change one little whisker of information or one letter on that crossword puzzle, it's going to change the entire blockchain. So an innovation about hash functions became, and an innovation about timestamp blocks all of a sudden came together with this proof of work innovation.